You can get the princess here, check. If she's promoted, she can even check back here. But assuming she's not promoted, I call this the kiss of death. Kiss one, checkmate. Yeah, so these are very, very vulnerable squares. Very important squares. These are some of the weakest squares in the board when your king is here. Because as we saw, they're infiltration squares. Also, we can include in the piece heavy attack. We can combine like weaknesses, attacks along the 1-2 line in this case, or 16-15 lines. Obviously, just in this example here, let's have a look what we've got. This squire is pinned, and it's actually having a lot of forces bear down on it. Now, one of the things that you might think is that okay, well, I'm being attacked. All right, so what can I do? So an easy answer by white is to mess with the structure. Okay, so white might think, okay, I'll push this pawn here. Okay, now this can be very, very disastrous. One of the reasons is because these light squares immediately become weak. In fact, the prince is quite deadly because it moves like a bishop and like a knight if it hasn't promoted. An archer and a Tarka knight who has the full range of jump if it's promoted. So this here check, followed by perhaps, cutting the king off. He only has one square. Perhaps we could look at like a check this direction, and it's looking pretty much like checkmate now. After the pawn lifts, we've got bishop takes, but unfortunately for the king, he can't take the bishop because he can't move through the prince's force field that it's creating. The king can't move through check and of another piece. Now, if the prince wasn't there, then the king, for the very next move, could take or capture with another piece or evade. So just in this case, though, the king can't move through the prince's shield, force field. So yeah, that is checkmate. So just having a look at this position, of a piece-heavy attack, it's about combining your pieces. It's about knowing where this structure is weak. It's about if they actually obviously it's about creating matchups. This is an obvious exaggeration where you've got 3 versus 1, just to emphasize the point. But every time you move one of these defensive pawns, it can be good to create escape squares, but it also can be the last thing